Well, hello, whoever you are, wherever you are, welcome back to Nova Body. So this session is going to be a quick exploration of the shoulder girdle and how to sort of stabilize it while breathing three-dimensionally with the rib cage and getting the diaphragm really activated and moving so that the breath goes from the shoulders and the neck down into the pelvic floor, which really requires that pressure downward to be healthy. So, sweet. Another way that this session is going to serve you is if you're a little bit, I want to use the word down, but low on energy, maybe having sort of like a low dopamine moment. As always, any of these sessions can help with that, but a little boost in the breathing and in the taking of time to be with color and movement, we're gonna breathe some life into ourselves. Okay, literally. So go ahead and find a seated position and say hello. Say hello. 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 Okay. So we want, like I said, we want the breath to go down, okay? Now, this isn't about right or wrong. It really kind of never is with the body. It's about function, purpose, context. But let's say that wherever you are, whoever you are, the context that you're in this exact moment is ideally just a space to yourself. So even if you're surrounded by people, you have me in your headphones, and we're co-regulating in a little safe space. So that being said, with that in mind, we're gonna aim to bring the breath down out of the fight flight structures. So when we breathe upward, we're using our accessory muscles, and we're cueing to the system we're cueing more survival information by breathing up top. So we want to really bring the breath down. Enough talking. So go ahead and real quick find your sits bones, those bones that you sit on. And before we move up top, let's just notice, where is your weight? Are you in the back? Are you in the front? Are you favoring one side or another? Excuse me. Can you feel yourself lift onto the front edge of the sits bones? So you're lifting your spine and you're tipping to the front edge of the sitting bones, those bones that you sit on. You're tipping onto the front edge. As you're tipping onto the front edge of the sitting bones, you're going to lift through the back of your ears. So as you lift through the back of the ears, you're lifting the skull away from the collarbone. And so you're feeling now there's like a two-directional tension, you could say. The lift of the base of the ears and the roof of the mouth going this way, and the elongation of the two sitting bones down, and then just letting the ribs feel spacious away from the hips. Keep doing that. Just engage with that idea, and a lot will show up for you. You may feel that opening up in the collarbone, the sternum, the spine, the back, Now, while maintaining that, glide along your collarbones and find the very tip out here. And I want you to feel those two tips reaching in two directions. And as they're reaching and radiating off of the center point, off of the sternum, you're gonna feel your back body kind of come to life. So we have the collarbones radiating this way, the back of the ears lifting, the sitting bones reaching. From there, feel your shoulder blades. You're not gonna crunch super hard. You're going to imagine the triangle of the shoulder blades. Feel the bottom tip. Feel the bottom tip kind of drop and almost press forward into the rib cage. So you're pressing the shoulder blades, tip of the shoulder blades forward into the rib cage ever so slightly. And don't worry if you can't feel all of this. Just keep going. Keep seeing what you can feel. So shoulder blades, boom, collarbones wide. There's a lift, the chin is parallel to the ground. You're on the tips of the sitting bones. Now place your hands like this, thumbs go up, and maintain a sense of breath in your pec muscles. So there's sort of this smile right here, like you're smiling that open. You're not closing that off, and you're not overly squeezing the shoulder blades either. They're just finding form around the ribs. Now, as you're doing this, slightly press your pinky knuckle into your thighs. And as you do that, you're gonna close the chain. What do I mean by that? So the arm, the hand connects to the leg, connects through the arm, connects to the shoulder, connects to the collarbone, and all the way to the other side and into the other hand. So all of that's interconnected: shoulder blades, collarbones, sternum, arm bones, down into the hands. And so we're finding this good form of tension in those areas. As this is happening, the elbows are kind of naturally drawing towards each other. Ever so slightly, you're still opening breath into the front of the pecs, and you're also breathing into the back of the ribs in the middle. So now that you're finding form in the arms, the shoulder blades, the collarbones, the sternum, and you're lifting, and you're driving energy down through the sitting bones, I would love for you to gently breathe in through your nose. And just breathe out. Do that 2 more times, and just do this to take inventory. What do you notice? Do this 2 more times, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. 1 more. Notice how, as you press down through your palms and as you drive the elbows down ever so slightly, you're not overly doing anything. The diaphragm has to go down because it can't go up. The diaphragm being a dome-shaped muscle surrounding the rib cage. Breathing in, here we go, breathe in. Front, back, right, left. Down into the pelvic floor opens up. You just exhale slowly. Let's add a sound now. Breathing in. Feeling the ribs are opening up into the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades are finding their form against the ribs, but the ribs are breathing into the shoulder blades. Now make an S sound. And you're gonna feel as you breathe out, 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 there's a connection here that's happening and the pelvic floor is rising. Breathing in And breathing out. The middle of your back, like the base of the center of the sacrum, is also going a little bit forward. Remember, you're on the front of the sits bones. If you're starting to get tired, good. This is not a challenge. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feeling the pelvic floor rising, the abdominal wall, like you're hugging. If you had a baby, you're hugging it in towards you. The lower back is going forward towards the abdominal wall. So this is happening. The rise, the diaphragm is rising up internally. Good. Keep that map and let's go a little faster. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in. Let's go through the nose. Breathe in. Keep going. Add some speed. Good, take a pause. Don't collapse. Get taller. Get taller. So you'll notice that in some of these videos, it's all about like finding the wiggle, finding the flow, finding the ability to move through the muscle and the tissue in a very sort of like, I'll call it sensual way. And this is more about structure. So as you're doing this, it's going to get more and more challenging in a very weird way. Like wherever you have stagnancy, as you're doing this, you're going to feel it. So I'll give you an example for myself. I'm feeling it show up in my middle back. I know I'm pretty tight there right now. I'm holding some stagnancy, some lack of blood flow. And so as I'm doing this, it's wanting to clench down. That's kind of like a normal cue. And wherever you're noticing that within yourself, if you're noticing that, I don't want to put that onto you, but if you are noticing that, in this next round, we're going to do some breathing, and then I'm going to say, find the spot. And that's what I mean. I mean, find the spot where it's showing up like that, and then I'm going to work with that spot specifically, and then we'll go back into the integrated whole. So go along on this journey with me. Here we go. If you need to like collapse for a second, like really rest, reset, do it. Otherwise, I encourage you to keep activating and keep adding stress. We are actually stressing on purpose here. Collarbones wide, check in. Tip of the shoulder blades away. Lift the base of the ears, finding this space. Finding sitting bones, lifting till the pubic bone is tipping forward. And there's an elevation of the body from the bottom up. The outside of the pinkies are pressing down. The elbows are somewhat wrapping towards you. You are finding form. The shoulder blades are driving energy, the base of the shoulder blades driving energy forward. There's a sort of a T here, but you're not overly flaring the ribs, but you're not overly contracting them either. They're just neutral. There's space for the diaphragm to move. Now, breathe in and feel the diaphragm opens and it goes down. The pelvic floor opens as well. Pressurizing down like a trampoline. Exhale, and it rises. Breathe in. Keep going. The ribs opening into the shoulder blades. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, now you have the biomechanics. Now let's add some rhythm and speed. Breathe in. Add some speed. Now find that spot. Where are you really feeling that tension is growing? Pause, breathe into it. And you can even, I'm gonna tip slightly forward and I'm gonna target that area and I'm gonna breathe in. And like you're pumping air, pumping the balloon, and then exhale and feel the diaphragm, the pelvic floor lift and feel the opening of the tissue. So wherever it is, you breathe in and you imagine like ink spreading open. And you use the contraction, the deep core, the breathing to like literally send the support up into that area. So you breathe into it, you let it expand, and then you exhale. Add some speed. And as you speed up, let it surrender. Three, two, one, and roll through it. Oh my God. Ah! So notice how, oh my God. Pause. I've been tight there for a while. Okay. So notice how when we work with the structure, I like to refer to it as the central tube. That's just how I think of it. It's like the space between the roof of the mouth and the pelvic floor. I call it the tube in my head, I do. And because a lot of times people, when they think about their core, you're thinking about it as abs, like six pack, front to back. But your core is this whole central structure. It's like a structure, it's an axis point. And when you work on the tensegrity, do you remember the tensegrity is like the tent shape? It's the concept of equal balanced tension. When you work on the tensegrity of the tube itself and the mechanism of the diaphragm and the pelvic floor and the way things operate together, you naturally experience imbalances correcting themselves. This is my opinion. So if I have like a tightness here, let's say, and I spend a bunch of time trying to stretch it and trying to move it and trying to roll it and all this, but it's like, I think about stretching as you have to know where you're going from. Where are you starting and where are you going? We're not just stretching our back to where. Like there's a relationship between all things. And so when you work this breathing and this central axis, first of all, you're oxygenating. So any tension or soreness that's actually coming from a lack of oxygen, you can check that off if it starts to improve through the breathing itself, you can kind of check that off of maybe something that's contributing to that area being a thing. Then, along with that, it's just more efficient. Like you're checking in with that midline, and you're giving the body a chance to orient to where you are. And then when you orient to it, as you orient, anything that's imbalanced in relationship to that orientation just starts to become more apparent and starts to work itself out. Then from there, like let's say after here, you still feel tension somewhere in particular. Now you can sort of take the structure itself and then go maybe foam roll or use a tune-up ball or whatever to work with the area of yourself that kind of showed up as holding something. This prevents, in my opinion, it prevents you from overworking, like chasing your tail. It's a protocol almost, like what happens if you start here and things reveal themselves to you rather than you just spent a bunch of time like strangely rolling your body around on a tool to see if it does something for you. Don't get me wrong, there's a place for everything and there's like a real way to do things and there's no real right or wrong, and that's what makes this whole process so creative. Yes, for nuance. All right, should we do one more? I think we should, because talk is cheap, baby. Talk is cheap. So collarbones go wide. Lift the base of the skull, the back of the ears. Find the front edge of the sitting bones. So those bones that you sit on, drive them down into the floor, into the chair. Pubic bone glides towards the ground. And then press one more time. As you're pressing, smile in the armpits. Find the tips of the shoulder blades, drive them forward towards the rib cage, ever so slightly, like just a little hug, like a little boop. And you feel that sort of radiation happening. Your hands will go here. You're gonna press slightly down to create that sort of like pressurization. Now, breathe in. Keep it small and let it go from there, like let it expand. Then exhale. Now soften your gaze, look straight ahead, breathe in. And I'm gonna add an element, okay? We're gonna look up as we breathe in, just with the eyes, not with anything else. Look up, look down and exhale. Look up, breathe in, breathe out, look down. Gaze straight ahead, and here we go. Keep going. Hold, exhale, and hold that carbon dioxide inside of you. Just let it all go. Let it all flow. Everything you need to know is on its way. So let's lift our arms. But when you lift your arms, can you imagine the same structure? Like the shoulder blades are still gliding down almost as the palms lift up. And see that your ribs, it's not that we're like crunching them down, but just imagine that there's a waterfall going down your sternum as the arms lift up. And so that you're getting this sort of opposition. The arms lift up, the shoulder blades and the sternum both go down. And then just pause here. And you're just gonna reach through one hand, soft shoulders, and make it very small. Drive through the sits bones. And then exhale, and feel that core, that internal lifting, and let that sort of take you a little bit farther over. But collarbones are wide. So the structure doesn't change. You're gonna breathe in to that side, front side back. Exhale, the pelvic floor lifts internally. And here we go, we press into the right hand. We open up, oh my God. We open up the left palm, we gaze at it, but we haven't lost sight of the sits bones. And then we bring it up and over to the diagonal. And we get breath into the middle upper back. Oh my, whose idea was this? Driving into the sits bones. And center, soft shoulders, drive down into the sits bones, reach. Okay, before you go anywhere, root. Drop the sternum, drop the shoulder blades, reach the fingertips away from the sitting bones. Breathe in and breathe out and feel that this is sending energy through the palm. And then return back to center, breathe in, breathe out. You're not leaning, you're going literally straight up. So both sides of the waist get longer. Return. One more time, soft shoulders. Go ahead and press into the left hand. And reach up and over. Open the palm. Breathe into the pec there. And reach up and over. And bring that forward and just press the palms both into the legs. Don't overly press in the traps. Just press and feel the middle back, okay? Only the middle back. Then breathe into the middle back. And breathe out. And feel the core drawing into the spine. Breathe in to the low back, the middle back. And now press and bring your upper thoracic into extension. As you press open, breathe in and feel the sternum open, feel the collarbones open. Breathe out. All right, and that is your Nova Body session for today. I hope you have some nice flow going on. I hope you got a nice little boost. And what's really cool is that just by doing that, you're training your body, you're automating it, because the body, you're actually training your brain by doing the motions and teaching your body. You're teaching your body basically. And so it'll have a compound effect that the more that you do it, the more automatic it will become. And so if you have any excess breathing up here, let's say, you can start to automate it to be lower down, and that can really improve your baseline so that you're not breathing, hyperventilating on an unconscious level and kind of wiring that quote unquote anxiety into you're really breathing low and grounded. Sweet.